win would be very bad for chess. With all the interest in India at the moment, I think that Ding Liren would perhaps set chess back by 2 or 4 years.
The reminder of chess speaks for itself.
And I think something has just happened that we need to talk about. Sorry, I'm not taking podcast requests.
Start round 1, enjoy your game.
Okay, now it's one of the youngsters that you mentioned, Gukesh. What do you make of his first shot at the candidates? Is it going to go well?
For Gukesh, it's very hard to say. I cannot imagine him winning, but I could see him being anywhere from like +2 to -5. I think he will certainly win at least a couple of good games, but have some fairly bad losses as well. So I don't think he'll do poorly, but I don't think he will do too well either. So he's barely. I don't think he fits into either category, but I think he's not quite ready yet to make the leap. And I think it's probably more likely that he has a bad event than a good event. But pretty experienced.
While in the candidates, I do think that the old guys still have a bit of an edge. So that would be my guess. One of the old guys win.
Where are you for candidates, and what do you think is going to happen? Everyone's making their own tier list. Who they think is going to win it? What are your opinions on the whole thing?
My opinion was very similar to at least one tier. I said the people who have played before, which is one way of saying older people, and the people who are playing first time, which is one way of saying it, though with it, it's debatable which category he's in. But he is clearly playing the first time, but he's not the age of the others. Then you have, in the top group, I thought the 2 Americans are the clear favorites.
That has backfired for Fabi in the past. I'm just curious what comes next for White. It looks like you've maximized, you've kind of You've got the minority attack going, you've pushed pawns on the queen side, you've got weak squares you could jump into, but how to capitalize on this potential advantage? What are we expecting to happen over the next few moves?
And Maurice, you pointed out, sorry, go on, Maurice.
No, I definitely think there is some preparation that he's going to have to do, but b5, I mean, mail it in. Yasser Serouan said that this is how he got, he bought a house with the minority attack, was what Yasser said. He won these kind of minority attacks so often that at some point, he could do it.
It actually can arise with a completely different opening. Watch this. Can we go back to the first move?
Yep, let's do it.
D4, Nimzo Indian, not D5, but knight F6. Watch this, C4, and I find these transpositions to be fascinating. Knight C3, bishop E4. Now the Rubinstein variation, E3.
Apart from that, you know, playing 1d4, yeah, it's a little bit surprising to me since it switched up from e4. Like, d4 is honestly like hard to make work these days. Like, there are so many good lines for black in the Queen's Gambit, which is the reason why we've seen a lot of e4 in this tournament. So, but I'm sure, like,
I think it was maybe at the end of the tournament when he mentioned this after he officially became the challenger, that was the best moment in his tournament, because he still felt very good after his loss against Ali Reza. He was like, okay, I'm still in very good shape. I can still do this. Like, he didn't take that loss badly. He wasn't too much down on himself, if that makes sense. So that, you know, showed once again a lot of maturity, let's say, from his part.
You know, as for me, okay, I checked through, I read some of his interviews and post-game comments, and in a way it reminded me of Chess Speaks for Itself. So no big, you know, no big, how to say, details, just okay, I was like very sure I'm a good player. I knew, okay, maybe it's like, that's how you're supposed to answer such questions. But it wasn't too detailed. Yeah, okay, I have some good nerves, and okay, I was well prepared, and I knew if I do my best, I will win. So this is, you know, pretty normal stuff to hear. But as a chess fan, I would like to know something more. But, yeah.
Okay, finally we have to talk about Gukesh, right? It's
yep,
the winner.
The winner, the new challenger.
He won with +4, losing 1 game, winning 5. He actually could have won that game, maybe, that he lost, or at least not lost it, so it could have been +5. He didn't have any other bad positions in the tournament,
except against,
which is no, he didn't have a bad position against. I mean, he had a slightly worse position. It was objectively equal from, like, let's say, a pure, like, if black plays very well and white plays very well, it's an equal position. And he had no other bad positions against Jan. He had, like, slightly worse from the opening. Nothing else. It's amazing. His stability was
yeah, he was very stable.
Yeah, he had the most stable tournament, so that's why you can definitely say he won. Yeah. Because everyone else was up and down. Okay, I was up and down.
Interview with Ali Reza's father, Hamid Reza Firouja, and he's standing live with Mike Klein. Take it away, Mike.
Thanks, guys. We're here outside the club with the father of Ali Reza Firouja. Hamid Firouzja, and I think something has just happened that we need to talk about. It looked like you were being escorted out of the club. Can you describe what happened?
Yes, from the beginning of the tournament, they made a technical meeting. In the technical meeting, I talked about cheating. I told you have to be careful about cheating the people who going to playing hall and coming from out the playground, because the most problem happened, the biggest problem in the world of chess now, cheating.
I think the head shake is, in my opinion, translating body language as I tend to do sometimes, is actually shaking his head because he thinks that he's actively killing both their chances. I think he's sort of shaking his head like, hey man, I think we both know what's about to happen here.
Maybe not for this game, but overall he was leading the tournament. But